Trevor Matich now joins us. It's Redskins time. Big game Sunday. After last Sunday's loss, which eliminated the Redskins from the playoffs, quarterback Robert Griffin III said this.
We're sitting here. I think our record's 3-9 now. And I just think we're too good to be a 10-loss football team.
All right. They're too good to be a 10-loss football team, but clearly they're not so good to be a 9-loss football team. Trevor Matich, can they beat the Kansas City Chiefs and remain a 9-loss football team?
Well, they can. Although look at how high you're setting the bar, though, for them, Larry. You know, just say we're a 9-loss team. You know, we're number one, but what else do you have? And the thing is, this week on the field is a practical matter. Yeah, they could beat Kansas City. The Chiefs started out 9-0. They were hot, but they've lost two teams that currently have winning records.
They've lost 3 in a row now, right? And
right.
And
2 of those to Denver, though.
2 of those to Denver. 2 of those to Denver. Good point. And they are going to be playing here, though, at FedEx Field, and it looks like the weather conditions might be a little rough. Is that going to be a factor, do you think?
Well, I don't think the weather conditions will be a factor so much as the Chiefs will be a factor, because the Chiefs are still on the hunt for the wild card in the AFC, and everybody in the league, the worst teams in the league that are struggling mightily, look at the Redskins game on their schedule as the game for them to get well. So Kansas City is expecting to get well on the Redskins. So we'll find out more about the Redskins' character in this game.
All right, so look, let's talk about what's going on sort of outside of the actual football game. I mean, you've got a coach who's had to answer questions about, do you think you're going to be fired? You've got Robert Griffin III. The story is that he and Kyle Shanahan, perhaps, you hear these stories, don't get along too well, that they don't see eye to eye. I mean, what's going to happen as this season starts to wind down? Are we going to see a change in the coaching staff there, in your estimation?
I think there's a chance, but really, ultimately, I think RG3 has a lot to say about that. Now, he doesn't have the authority to hire and fire coaches, but I believe he has the ear of the owner. And if he says that he can't work with this staff, then and he can't get the best of his talent on the field going forward with this staff, that will be part of the consideration for whether or not to keep this staff or to go to a new one. So it's kind of like the story of the boy that's got a small bird in his hand, and he asks the wise man, is this bird alive or is it dead? And the wise man says, that's up to you. Yeah. Because if it's alive, you can keep it alive. If it's dead, if you want it dead, you can kill it. And RG3 right now has a lot of power as to whether or not this staff succeeds going forward.
All right, Trevor Matich, let's not forget the Chiefs, the team who will be coming in here. They were awful, worst team in the league last year, I believe. Maybe Jacksonville was a couple games worse. They got a new coach, Andy Reid, and then got off to a 9-0 start, and are knocking on the playoffs door. Isn't there a lesson to be learned there?
Well, yeah, the lesson to be learned is you can turn around fast in the NFL. And
with the right coach.
With the right coach, sure, but see, Shanahan had this team go from worst to first last year. And they won the division last year. Now they're back to last again.
Yeah.
And there are reasons why. Some of it's coaching, but there are other reasons as well. But for Redskins fans, as ugly as this looks, and I think the Redskins might not win another game this year. They might get one. They might get 2. But they might lose the rest of them.
Oh, my.
But really, what's going on with the team going forward? And this team has a good nucleus. But next year they will have their salary cap space restored to them. Keep in mind that for the last 2 years, the NFL took away $36 million worth of cap space to punish them for some shenanigans that they had in the Haynesworth situation. That's one of the reasons they felt that cap space that they thought they had was one of the reasons that they felt it was okay to trade away some of the draft picks for RG3.
Right.
They can make up the personnel with free agents. And imagine if this team right now had $36 million worth of extra free agents on this team.
Yeah.
That's what they expected to have. And they didn't have that. That was taken away. And so that's not to make excuses. Just to say that they get their cap space back next year and they can start adding free agents like normal teams. And this team has a nucleus to be able to have success with this staff. And I think what you learn from Kansas City is that if you've got a good nucleus of young players, you can turn it around very quickly. And with RG3, Alfred Morris, players like that,
Right.
the nucleus is there to turn it around.
All right,
Yeah,
Trevor
yeah,
Matich.
good point.
It's a good point. All right, Trevor, thank you very much. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the game on Sunday.